Hey there guys, what is going on? We have finally received the Season 3 roadmap update, and there's a lot of stuff to cover in this video, so just before you jump into it here straight away, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on so you stay up to date with all the latest Call of Duty news, including Season 3 stuff, which we're going to be taking a look at all week when it does drop. So let's just jump into it here. We have, of course, the roadmap, the lovely roadmap, which is just... This is what we're looking at here right now. We are receiving a bunch of new multiplayer maps, which is of course very, very exciting, including Yamantau. A lot of people have been saying this is like that weird crossover between Dome, High Rise, and a lot of other stuff, but really it looks like its own map set in the mountains. Very, very cool little snow map stuff going on like that. I think this looks kind of cool. There's some interesting gameplay. We'll show the actual like layout of the map on the screen right now. We are also getting a new map called Diesel, which is set in the Nevada desert, I believe. I think Nevada, New Mexico, maybe somewhere around that area. You know, that deserty bit of America. Basically, Diesel is very reminiscent of something like Nuketown with that same aesthetic, that like Americana 80s sort of vibe. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen Nuketown. This is very similar. It's essentially set around a gas station, which is really, really cool. So they keep that in mind. It's going to be a small map for 6v6, 2v2, and 3v3. And of course, later on in the season, we are getting Standoff, which is one of the perfect maps in this game. It is from Black Ops 2. If you never played this back in the day, this is probably one of the best Black Ops maps ever made. This is just such a high quality map. There's not really much else to say about it. It's just a good map. That's it. We're of course getting new multi-team stuff in Duga, which is basically just more fire team dirty bomb stuff, which is always very cool. Sticks and Stones game mode, multi-team elimination, new score streaks, new Warzone map update, of course the new Warzone event, which sees you try and find Adler. Then, of course, new Outbreak region is again Duga. Then the Toxic Growth Field upgrade. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe we'll read more about that soon. Cargo Truck FAV for Outbreak. New Outbreak intel, of course, and the new weapons, which we really care about. This is what we're all about. The PPSH-41 is a very, very cool weapon to add to this game. I did a little bit of reading on this, and it's a fast-firing, sort of medium to low damage SMG with very, very cool stats on it. So this is going to be a very good weapon as well. We're also getting a Swiss K31, which looks very, very similar to something like a Kar98K. Apparently, it does have fast firing speed, or fast handling speeds rather, and is a very, very good sniper. So we'll have to wait and see. In the middle of the season, we are getting the Carve 2, which is like the I think it's the G31. It looks very similar to that boxy style, weird, you know what I'm talking about. And then this is also a burst rifle, so it's going to be absolutely broken in this game. And then we are getting the AMP-63, which is a machine pistol, so that's going to be broken as well. We are also receiving the ballistic knife, so that's why we get Sticks and Stones. Very, very cool as well. Baseball bat mid-season. Very cool as well. Alrighty, so this all does start on the 21st/22nd of April, depending on where you do live, your time zone and stuff like that, so keep that in mind. It is coming out very, very soon. We, of course, have the Hunt for Adler challenge, which basically is one of those events in Warzone where you're going to be walking around the map doing different challenges and stuff like that, so that's pretty interesting. We are getting 3 new operators and 1 old friend, as it is described. The 1 old friend is, of course, Captain Price, as we did mention, and then the 3 operators aren't super interesting. It tells a little bit of a story. They look kind of cool. There he is, the old boy himself, Captain Price. Oh man, I don't know what he's doing in Cold War, but it is what it is. He's on Standoff, which is very, very cool looking map. I'm so excited for Standoff, dude. It's going to be so good. So we have the new weapons here, of course. This is the PPSH-41, which is a brand new SMG, as we can see here. This is a absolute classic in this series. Though its damage per shot is moderate, so low to medium damage. It's rapid fire and high capacity capabilities encourage an aggressive playstyle. So very standard SMG in this game, quite high fire rate. Move around the map very easily and spray people down. Super excited for this. This is going to be the first weapon that you unlock in the Season 3 Battle Pass. Then, of course, there is a Swiss K31, which this is it here. It looks very, very similar to the Kar98K, so just keep that in mind. It's going to be a fast handling sniper, just good all-round stats. Fast reload speed, all those lovely good things. Fast ADS speeds as well. Very, very excited about that. Even says here, aggressive sharpshooters will be in their element with this new rifle. So this is going to be probably the new quick-scoping option in the game. So, you know, keep thinking about that. But of course, for some reason, they decided to add the ballistic knife, which is always a cool... Like, it's never a super strong option. It's just like a cool addition to the game. It's never going to be like absolutely meta because it is very, very limited in what it does. But it's a lot of fun to run around with this thing. We're also getting the Carve 2. Like, look at this thing. This is like some kind of future weapon. That's kind of very, very cool. We have seen weapons that are boxy and sort of that style previously. But I mean, the Carve 2 is very, very interesting. It is a burst tactical rifle, of course, joining like the M16 and the AUG, so expect this to be very, very powerful. And as I said, the AM63, which is basically a machine pistol, so that's going to be absolutely broken when we slap on that akimbo like stock. This is going to be absolutely busted, so keep an eye out for this one. It is in the mid-season, so just, you'll have to wait for it, but it's just, whoo-hoo, it's going to be pretty good. And of course, the baseball bat, always a little bit of a meme to add these melee weapons. We're probably going to be unlocking this one because it is a lot of fun, doing another bonk video maybe, so just keep that under wraps because that's going to be pretty fun. Of course, we are getting a couple of new maps here as well. Yamantau, which is this snowy style map with the down satellite and big dome looking thing as well. So that's kind of cool. This should be a fairly interesting map, as it says here. Bury your enemies in an avalanche of firepower as you fight through the crumbled remains of a Soviet observatory on Mount Yamantau. Of course, you battle through a massive down satellite dish, which we have seen. That is something that we have seen. It looks pretty cool. If you see the trailers already, this looks very, very nice. Broken catwalks and fast rope up over an enemy, and just a lot of cool flanks on this map, I imagine. That's what... It reminds me an awful lot of Satellite. Obviously, there's a broken down satellite, but being able to move around the flanks of the map to sort of get into the middle behind the areas, that's going to be a little bit like Satellite. Of course, we are getting Diesel. This is the petrol station, the gas station, depending on what you do prefer to it as. That is very, very cool. I really do like this aesthetic, like that Nuketown style vibe. That's kind of cool. In the Lonesome Desert, this slice of Americana erupts into a battlefield. Gear up for 6v6 as well as 2v2 and 3v3 in gunfight on this fast-paced and frenetic map. So this is going to be the new close quarters stuff. This is very, very exciting. I'm super excited about this. This could be one of those maps that we see like progress into the future. Like, you know how they make maps and you're like, man, that's such a good map that needs to keep going. We could see Diesel continue as well, because just those close range combat, as well as having like that street that is on one of the sides of the map, as we can see on the screen right now. There's a street on the left-hand side, I believe that's going to be for long-range combat, so keep that in mind as well. There'll be a little bit of something for everyone. And Standoff, if you haven't played Standoff, man, you are missing out. Black Ops 2 Classic. Like, this is... My main memory of Standoff is essentially having those crazy professional like S&D games on this. This is such a good map for S&D, so keep that in mind if you are looking to play this thing. One of the best maps ever made. Like, this is such a good map. Black Ops 2, absolute banger. Of course, with the return of the ballistic knife at launch, we are getting Sticks and Stones, which is always nice. That's a very, very cool addition to the game. It's an old school game mode. Basically, you get the ballistic knife, you get a crossbow, and you get a tomahawk. You run around everywhere and just try and kill people. Very, very cool. Of course, we are getting a new score streak in the Strafe Run, which is basically a slightly different napalm strike. So it will last for a little bit longer than an napalm strike and sort of just bomb the area that you do set it to. Very, very cool addition to the game. We're getting a bunch of additional vehicles in those multi-team game modes, including a cargo truck. Big Bertha finally going into those multi-team game modes. And we are getting the Toxic Growth Field upgrade in Outbreak and Zombies as well. Looks like they will take some toxic damage as well as have their movement speed slow. That's kind of cool. We're also getting a new Outbreak region, which is again Duga, so more zombie stuff. Very cool as well. And then, as I said, the FAV and the cargo truck, which is the little sand dune buggy thing. Very cool. Of course, there is a bunch of new prestige stuff as well. I think you can hit prestige 15, which is absolutely ridiculous. So that'd be cool for you guys who do like grinding out that stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. We're getting new challenges and stuff. And of course, the new Warzone update. There's been like the zombie outbreak stuff. There's a lot going on in Warzone, so we are getting the update to the map, whether that involves going back in time to the 80s. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll have to wait and see when this does drop, because there's a lot going on in Warzone right now. There's like the zombies, there's the missiles flying everywhere, there's the little text that comes up on the screen that I didn't know what was going on the other day. So we'll be taking a look at some of that as well, but there is a lot of stuff going on in Warzone, a lot to cover there. And the file update size is something that you guys are fairly interested in, given that your devices are only limited to certain capacities like 500GB, 1TB with sort of additional like hard drives that you can add on. But for most consoles, it's going to be about 10, 12, 13 gigabytes, depending on what you are playing on, which is very, very cool as well. Of course, the Warzone updates are going to be a little bit bigger, as it is adding a brand new or slightly different, like updated Warzone map. So it's about 25 gig across the board there. And that's pretty much it for this update here. I'm very, very excited about the new weapons. Of course, new maps, Standoff, adding just such a good map, man. I'm so keen to play that. Very, very keen to ruin the game with an AM63 pistol akimbo class setup. And of course, this thing, the Carve 2, looks very, very cool as well. And the ballistic knife, we're not super excited about that, but it is what it is. It's a lot of fun to run around with. New Kar 98 style sniper, very, very cool. And the PPSH41, another great addition to the game, hopefully. So thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it. Of course, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on, and I will see you in the next video and in Season 3. Peace!